Live.
We are at the Norris Lake Podcast, episode 1. We'd like to introduce Walter Duvall,
Hello.
Tyler Moroney.
How's it going?
My name is Steve Moroney. We want to start with Tyler. Tyler, how did you give us a backstory on what you're all about?
Well, I don't even know where to start.
I was born a poor black child.
No, I was born and raised in Southern California for 26 years, and growing up there was amazing, but as an adult, it was
Tough.
tough and
Yeah.
got expensive real quick. So turned around and
So the
things-
cost out there is
well,
outrageous.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
I don't know how
it's
young couples
ridiculous.
do it. Yeah.
But the people other than that are okay. You don't have.
We won't
people-
go down that road
You
to
don't have
episode
people
1.
going
Let's
down
wait
the highway
till
screaming
episode
and hollering,
300.
guns going off everywhere. And
there's
yeah.
there's maybe 2 handfuls of people that you can say are similar to out here.
That's most big
If
cities
you're
today.
lucky.
Yeah.
And it
Different
really
world.
depends on the area that you're in. I mean, the further out you go, it gets more like out here because it's rural. Everyone's there for each other.
Yeah.
There's still people that, I have money. That's all it is out
Oh, yeah. It's a show.
there. You don't have
Yeah.
money, you don't get talked to. You're nobody. It's
Typical big city in America. Yeah. But it's San Diego and LA are really bad.
they're disgusting.
Yep.
San Francisco too.
But how'd you end up out here?
I ended up out here because, for the last 2 years, I was living out of my 4Runner, and finally my dad reached out to you, I guess. Or
Yep.
I don't know what exactly happened, but somehow you guys coagulated a plan, and
Then executed that plan.
Yep.
And here you are.
yeah,
He's-
they
he
flew me
knows
out here.
geometry.
Flew out
know that word,
July
coagulated.
27th, I think. Flight,
And you
and
stayed for a while, I think.
got
wasn't it?
here on the 28th, and yeah, I stayed for a couple months. Decided I think this is where I want to be, and flew
The
home
rest is history.
to grab the rest of my shit and
Yep.
say goodbye to never ever going back to Commie Land.
Nice.
Commie land.
And everybody out here loves you, and you love them, and you're getting a lot of work, side work going on, and yeah, that's great, man.
Do they have a lot of upside down pineapples out there?
I didn't notice it, but
you
I'm
got to
sure
go to Hollywood
I'm
and Long Beach for that. Yeah.
Long Beach, or
Long
I should say Redondo Beach.
Redondo.
That's in Africa, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh, my bad.
It's in southern Los Angeles, actually, north part of Orange County, actually. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. Well, again, like, what are your views on living on Norris Lake in Tennessee?
I absolutely,
It's paradise, isn't it?
it's paradise.
You been on the
It
water
really-
yet?
Yeah, you just got a pontoon boat, new house.
You're
down to
moving
Sugar
over to
Hollow
Sugar
Marina.
Hollow, right?
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Just got thanks to my buddy Chris.
Thursday
me and
nights are
him
going to be wild there. It's
I've
taco
heard.
night.
heard.
Well,
Had-
since Sue and Tony sold that marina.
It's a young couple that bought it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I can't remember that guy's name.
Well, so the manager's name I think is Danielle Turner.
Tony and Sue are still working there, right?
It's closed right now. They haven't
Oh, is
done anything. But they're sending out emails, so it sounds like they're doing something crazy for this year.
Good.
They have good bands over there.
Heard.
And it really
Yeah.
kicks ass over there because a lot of people are on their way over to go to the jumping bridge.
And spring and summer is gonna be fun living where you're living.
Oh yeah.
I've heard.
There's a lady down there has a houseboat on the very end on the middle dock. Carol Warren. You'll have to stop by there and drink a beer with her and tell her I sent you.
She really
Okay.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, get them all plugged in over there, Walt.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So
He melds right in though, dude. This guy's crazy. Like he was living here for like I don't even think it was like a week. He's all, Joe and Mary and blah 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 and Eddie and Christy and like what the fuck, dude. Like he just integrated so fast, and then started working doing side jobs for people. If anybody out there needs a good handyman, Tyler T-Bone Pickett.
That's nice.
We call him Tie Stick.
got any brothers or sisters?
I have a younger brother. And he was actually the reason that I was
Oh,
him and his girlfriend. Apparently soon to be wife, but I think that's gonna last very short. We'll see.
Well, that's the way it goes nowadays. You fall in love and think it's going to last forever, and it lasts 2 weeks.
They call it puppy love. What about you, Walter? What's up with you? Where are you from?
I fell out of the sky last week and landed on my feet, and here I am.
That's crazy.
Very interesting, huh?
No, you got a military background. You went
No, I didn't. I don't have a military background.
What?
I was just a contractor overseas.
You were a contractor for the military. I did not
Contractor.
know that.
So I grew up in southern Indiana, went to school in Kentucky, played ball there, won a national championship my senior year. Kappa Alpha Order. Because of my girlfriend at the time, she got accepted to the University of Tennessee into the graduate program. So we were on our way from Florida. We were graduating. We were going to Florida for a vacation. And we stopped at the University of Tennessee to check it out. End up moving down here with nothing. Literally, I think we had $500 to our name. We had enough for a deposit on an apartment complex.
You decided
West
to buy some
Knoxville.
weed with that money, didn't you?
Yeah, I went out and blew it all at the bar. God damn it. No. So she went her way. I went my way. Met my lovely wife out in Farragut. It's a funny story because, and I'll tell it. So when I was in West Knoxville, I found this bar called Rick's Place. And it was in downtown West. It was just the only place I knew where to go. So me and some other friends that I had met there, we started playing softball. And we had a game out in Watt Road, which is way out west. After one game, I said, you know what? I'm going to drive down Kingston Pike, guys, because we're playing a lot of games out here. Maybe I can find a bar. We can go have some beers afterwards. So I find a bar not probably less than 2 miles from the softball field, and the name of the place is Rick's Place. Well, real quick with that, it was Rick Bell's second store, but it was nothing like his other store downtown West, the original one I went to. This thing was more fancy and stuff, and there was a lot of Farragut was high-class people back then, kind of like that you were saying out there in Orange County or whatever. So we went in there and drank beer, and I met Margaret. She waited on us, and it was just over after that.
Did you get a phone number the first night, or did you have to work at it?
No, I kept going back in there, though.
You were determined.
Yeah.
She thought you were just another bar douche.
Yeah.
And
So
sure as shit, here you are these many years later. Crazy.
So she had worked for a guy named John Jules. He had a place in West Knoxville called Between the Buns.
Wait, what? What was
Between
it?
the Buns.
Between the Buns.
Yeah, it was cool. John Jules, he either coached on the offensive line at University of Tennessee or played football there or something. He had that bar. He ended up buying that bar out there in Farragut from Ricky Bales. And anyway, we've been married, almost 30 years now. So, you shack up with someone. We were lovers and all that kind of stuff, had a kid, lived in Knoxville up until 2008. So I was working overseas. I worked overseas in Iraq from 2005 to 2012. And when I come home, I'll be there for about 120 days, come home for like 14, 16 days and go back. I was pulling the boat back and forth, going out on the water, drinking. I had a security clearance. And I'm like, you know what? If I get pulled over,
You're in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Yep.
Real trouble. So, and by the way, I found my iPod. So I have a lot of pictures from over there that I kind of snuck out. So we'll have to go through them one time. We'll make an episode about that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Are we able to do that, Mr. Producer? Like we could hook up an iPod or iPod and
Yeah, just run through
put the pictures up there and they can see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we would have to download them onto my computer, but I can make
Okay.
a slideshow and
Just stay away
play
from the
it.
wedding shots, Tyler, and you'll be fine.
But anyway, so I told her, I said, hey, why don't you go up there and find us a little log cabin so when I come home, we can pull the boat up there and just stay there for the 2 weeks. She ended up finding us a house over there in Hidden Springs, and we moved up here in 2008. And then it's kind of taken full turn. She got into real estate because there wasn't nothing else up here. And then her broker at the time asked her, hey, I got this property management thing. Would you run it for me? And she said, sure. One thing led to another. We split off from him, and she had like maybe 4 or 5 houses, a couple here in Deerfield. It was called Norris Lake Vacation Rentals. I was still working overseas. It was almost time for me to come home because Obama said December 2012, everybody out. So that was his directive. So I made it home like December the 12th or something like that. Don't really remember, but I'm like, I am not going to sell insurance. I'm not coming home and doing insurance. What do you know? I'm selling insurance. Selling insurance. So she's doing property management. So we heard Georgia Sturgis used to own Deerfield Vacation Rentals.
Oh, she did. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so we heard that it was for sale. And so Margaret met with her. We were interested in it. And we took a trip to Mexico, came back, and Margaret found an email that she had sold the place. We both boo-hooed. So we're like, well, we'll figure out, we'll do so. We're just going to grow Norris Lake Vacation Rentals and go from there. Well, the people that bought it was Sue and Tony. At the same time, they bought Sugar Hollow Marina. And Sue had called Marge and said, hey, you want to come over here? I need some ideas or some help with some stuff. And then one thing led to another. They said, you want to purchase it from us? Because Sue said, I'm not really into it. Tony needs me over at the marina. It's crazy over there. So we worked out a deal. I think we're going on our 5th year of owning Deerfield Vacation Rentals.
Nice.
Is that longer? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, probably 6. 6.
So that's pretty much it. We have Deerfield Vacation Rentals. We opened up a little golf cart. It's not really a golf cart. They're called UTVs, utility vehicles. We have that, and we have a cleaning service now, residential. We're getting ready to expand into commercial. And then I plan on opening up a coffee shop, and we're going to do this podcast.
Nice. You've got all spectrums covered.
Yeah, we're just
all of
kicking ass here, aren't we?
What about a burger joint? You going to do that?
I don't know. If they cook themselves.
They might. You never know these days.
So what about you, Steve-O?
Man, Canadian born, moved to San Diego, California.
Maple syrup.
Damn straight. Back when Canada was
cool. Are your fingers
cool.
sticky?
They are, always. No, my father was put out of business because Canada had too much oil in storage underground and above ground, so they shut down the oil industry in Alberta, Calgary to be exact. And then he moved the family to San Diego and got into a little different line of work and did all my schooling down there horribly. Socially did great in school. Academically dropped the ball. So I went straight into music. Actually, my sister Carolyn was dating this guy, Paul Pryor, who was a bass player, and he'd come over and hang out with my sister and I'd open the case. Wow, what the hell's that thing? Same thing, an old P bass like this, actually. And I remember, like it was yesterday, he said, man, you want to learn how to play? I said, yeah. He said, go buy these 2 albums and listen to them back to back to back to back. So I did, learned them, and then just kept honing it and got in different bands. And over the year, ended up moving up into L.A., played in a couple bands in San Diego, nothing real serious, but, kind of tighten your shit up, and then went to L.A. and got in a rat race up in Los Angeles. I wouldn't change it for the world.
That's got to be phenomenal.
Unbelievable. I remember Sunset Boulevard, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night. You physically could not fit another human being on the strip. All long hair glam bands, and people were putting flyers over bands, and everybody was dating strippers because they had money and they'd buy you guitars and leather jackets, and you're playing Gazaris, and yeah, it was fun. It was a super exciting time.
Everybody's going to hit the big time.
Well, yeah, I mean, some cats are very embarrassed of that era. I am not. I embraced the shit out of it. It was the best time of my life. I would do it again in a minute. I would just do a couple things differently if I were to do it, but. 3 different bands, 3 different record deals. Then we lost our record deal in quarter 2 of '97 when Napster hit. So we were already traveling on buses at that point, on tour buses. So that's where I became fond of buses and became an entertainer, coach, driver from then until now.
You want to promote the album a little bit?
No, not at all. Absolutely.
You don't want to plug it?
No.
I think it's awesome.
Silly.
No, it's not. I like it.
Yeah, the last album I was on was called Metallica, the Black Album.
Shut up.
No,
Oh
it's
my
it was a 4-piece rock quartet called the Almighty Ultrasound. The name is Sonic Bloom is the name of the record. It was pretty good for a little independent.
I think it was before its time.
It was.
Well, we started making noise. We were charting on college radio and AOR radio. We made it into the top 40 for like 3 weeks. I've got some paperwork around here, hence all the instruments and stuff. But
because you'll hear some bands now that sound like are trying to sound as good as you guys did. That kind of
I don't know. It was a fun musical journey, really.
Talent nowadays has gone downhill.
Well, because I mean, kids now just go to Google and they're holding a guitar. Like, how do you play that song? They're learning it with their eyes, not their ears. We didn't have internet.
Yeah, I know.
Back then, right? So you had to take an album, or CDs weren't out yet, a cassette or an album, put it on, learn it, take it back, like that's how you trained your ears. So I think I don't know, but I think that's probably what happened. Because you're right, Tyler. Like, man, you can find good bands if you dig out there. Country artists, there's a lot of phenomenal young artists out today, but in the rock and roll world, pass. Sorry, man, I'm just not into it.
A lot of the country artists or the kids that are my age that are getting into it, they're actually out in the country, so they actually are experiencing what true country artists are singing about.
Oh yeah, as far as their musical mentors,
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. And
Well, that and their environment. They grow up on a farm or a ranch or whatever, or out in the woods.
yeah.
All they have is nothing but time.
Time ticking on my hand. Time ticking on my hand. Yeah, good point. I never thought about that until you just brought that up. That's a good point. Yeah, more time to hone your craft because you got to pour your life into it. You can't just, I'm gonna do it.
Look at Jimmy.
Oh my God, such a good artist. You guys need to. You'll hear about this guy named Jimmy that plays that.
Jimmy
Terry
Garland. Oh my
Living the
goodness.
Dream. Oh my God, amazing.
He has got a voice on him, and he can play a guitar like a mop.
Yeah, absolutely. And his wife, phenomenal voice.
Oh my God.
But then, so ended up driving for a corporate guy from 2010 to 2020 when he passed away. And then we had bought our home. When did we get this house here in Deerfield? Was it 2017? And you guys were managing it.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember my first time I came out here.
Well, it's been longer than I thought.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But I remember I was geeking out on my laptop because when I was living in Las Vegas, I was trying to create an exit strategy. I knew my employment from Tony wasn't going to last a lifetime, and I refused to die in Nevada. I fucking hated everything about Las Vegas. I hated fucking living there. I hate it to this day. Great work, but horrible, shitty city, right? It was a great paycheck, blah, 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 working for a great guy. And so I'd geek out on my laptop. I got all these, I'd fall asleep. Just like, oh my God, Redfin and Zillow. I'd geek out. Dude's like, well, I'm looking at porn. I'm looking at Zillow. I'm like, holy shit. You're like, God, look at that fucking house looks great. And fucking fall asleep. Andrea would just fold the laptop and put it down nicely in the bed. Anyways, so I clicked on one of these ads for a property somewhere in Tennessee, somewhere around here. I forget where it was. And the real estate agent, Lynn Liu, that lives in Knoxville, she's a real estate agent for Keller Williams. She reached out and she said, hey, man, my name, she's sweet, sweetheart, can I get your phone number? Fuck, okay. So got her on the phone. What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to be? Just the sweetest person. And I said, hey, Lynn, I'm trying to look for some properties out in Eastern Tennessee. Where do you want to be? I don't know. Somewhere near Knoxville this way. I don't want to go to Nashville. I'll have a lot of friends in the music business that are artists and drivers in Nashville and shit show. Nashville now. Basically, the Californians took it over. Still a great city, but it's too crowded for me. Okay, well, yeah, just pick out a couple and send them to me. And me and Andrea were planning a trip. She's never been to Tennessee, Andrea, my other. And so it was maybe about 3 months until we finally got on the ground out here. I sent her 47 fucking properties. And she wrote them all down. We took 3 days. We took it was 12 or 13 a day. It's like, oh my God, that house is so beautiful. Oh, can't afford it. That one's so cool. Oh, it's rotting. Oh, that one. And then by the end of the day, you forgot what you looked at. It was getting so overwhelming because we're just staring at the beauty of the place because we came in summertime. And then for half of the trip, we stayed in a hotel. The Omni. Is it the Omni downtown or the starts with the C? What's where you guys always stay?
Crown.
Crown. Sorry, we stayed at the Crown, and
Crown Plaza.
Lynn would pick us up in her car, and then we'd go do the day looking at properties, and then drop us back off, and then we did 4 days up in Gatlinburg, and I remember when we came out and walked in this house on Little Buck Lane here, it hit Andrea first. We opened the door. There's no furniture. We walked on the main floor and looked out into the lake. She looked at me. She goes, "It's it." I go, "What's it? You pregnant?" "What do you mean? What's it?" "No, this is the house." "Cool. Okay, so this is the house." And then we had a cabin up in Gatlinburg, and sold that to fund our company that me and Chad Taylor did for a while, a limousine company, and that ended up to be the biggest mistake of my life. But that's water under the bridge. But here we are, a beautiful community. Amazing,
Yes, it is.
amazing people. Thank you, Tyler. Tastic. Amazing people. Anybody that's listening to this, if you tell your friends about this place, if they're assholes, don't tell them.
Yeah.
No, it's a phenomenal spot. I'm okay to die now.
It's funny.
I can die here.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because when we got into the property management stuff and got heavy in it, we would do the Cincinnati Boat Show.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, this is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool as hell. And then I was standing out there in front of the booth, asking people, "Hey, you been to Norris Lake?" And then it hit me. Everybody that walked by, I'm like, "Hey, you been to Norris Lake?" Hand the brochure. "Been to Norris Lake?" And then it hit me. I'm like, do I really want all these people coming down here?
So it's your fault for creating the Ohio Navy.
Well, you know what they call Norris Lake up in the Cincinnati area? It's Norris Lake is Cincinnati's or Ohio's best kept little secret.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why there's so many people from Ohio? Just because, and also the proximity, of course. But
yeah.
Can you just tell everybody to stop throwing trash into the lake and sinking bottles? That drives me
Just
crazy.
quit throwing trash, period.
Yeah. Who raised you?
I know it.
Yeah,
But it's a beautiful lake.
Yeah.
The community, and that's kind of what our shows, we wanted to focus around.
Support everybody involved in it. Yeah, absolutely.
The community and the surrounding areas
Yep.
and promote people. We're going to have people on that come down here a lot, and we're kind of like what you call implants. Is that what you would call them? Interview them and see, hey, how did you find it?
Yeah, for everybody.
See where they're from and
review all the marinas.
Yeah, we're going to do some things out there. We're going to have somebody from Norris Dam come over, hopefully.
Speaking of that, I know when I lived in Vegas, and me and my brother and Tyler and Austin did it. It's called the Hoover Dam Tour, and you go all the way down to the bottom of the dam. It's crazy. Are you able to tour Norris Dam?
I don't know if they do tours now, but they used to do tours.
Yeah,
they don't do it anymore.
Not from what.
You used to be over and tour. I think it was on a weekend thing.
Yeah, I'd like to if they do. If we can find out from somebody if they do a dam tour, I would love to do the dam tour.
I would love to do the dam tour too.
I remember taking him and his brother. Was it no?
No, it was just me and my dad.
It was you, me, and your dad. That's right. You open these doors and you're lit like about halfway down, and you're looking at the turbines. Dude, bigger than this room, and this was done in the 30s. How did you do that? How the fuck?
I wonder if they lost anybody over there.
They did. 12 bodies are encased in concrete. You can't stop.
Really?
You can't stop the pour. You're pouring. It's a constant pour. So they claim that there's 12 bodies encased in concrete.
Wow.
Pretty creepy. But it's 711 feet all the way to the bottom. So anybody that's listening, if you go to Vegas, that's one thing Vegas does have that's okay is certain nature, stuff like that. And that dam tour is definitely worth it. Don't do the half tour, do the whole dam tour. And you go all the way to the bottom. You can feel the pressure on your head. They let you feel the wall, and there's moisture coming through. But it's like 14 feet thick of concrete at the base. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You can feel the vibration.
Yeah.
Generator.
Yep.
Floor. And
I'll be there next week. Maybe I can go
it's
out
a
there
weird
and look
feeling.
at it.
Oh, if you're going to go, are you going there again?
Yeah, we're going next week.
Go out and do the tour for sure.
Fun.
It's
is it
pretty
like
amazing.
how many is it? An hour, 3 hours drive?
No. Oh, drive? Oh, where are you staying?
Venetian.
Oh, Venetian mid-strip. Once you're on the freeway,
Hour and a
you're
half.
45 minutes to the dam, to the parking lot. And another 15 minutes to park.
You know, one thing I like to go to out there in Vegas is the Formula One thing. I bet that's badass.
Talk to any one of the locals that works on that strip. They fucking hate it.
They hate it.
They hate we were just leaving to move here when they just finished the first one. And then I think they did the first race about 2 months after we left. Thank God.
Yeah, we heard from, somebody was talking about how a lot of not the downtown folks, but the people just on the outskirts were really pissed off because they weren't getting any money. Everything was going toward downtown.
Get money from what? What are you talking about?
The people that came to see the Formula One, all the
no,
vendors and shit.
Yeah. Well, Caesars and MGM are the ones that made on that, and Clark County tax base. Yeah, the locals, all they got was traffic. But that city's a shit show. No,
Yeah.
it's horrible. Now they just did the acquisition for the Tropicana. The Tropicana was up when we were there. That's one of the older school, early 80s hotels. They just leveled it, and that's where they're building a fucking baseball stadium.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
I heard
Oakland
about
A's.
that,
I think it's
yeah.
the Oakland A's.
Yeah, moving out there.
Getting all Oakland's teams.
I want to go to the
Yeah.
Sphere. I want to go to a concert at the Sphere. I
The,
heard it was
the,
phenomenal.
the Sphere, it's only like a 16,000 seat arena. And I remember living there, and people are going, what is it that they're building? It was a giant ball. Like it was going up in pieces. It was the weirdest thing. And they were keeping it real hush-hush. And then they did a blurb on it on the news saying it's the Sphere. It's going to be the most technically advanced
That's
arena.
badass.
And it's the second one. It's the same people that built the first one. I don't know where in Europe the first one is, but they plan on building quite a few of them.
Well, we went out there and they had just got it up and running, or they were testing it.
And you looked out the window of the hotel.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we're at the Venetian because we always stay there. We love that place. And I looked out the window and it was an eye. It's blinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world is happening?
They were the last year we were there. They were testing it on the 5th or 4th of July, and they could make it do fireworks, and they did the eye, made it look like a basketball. It's all 4K OLED
Yeah, it's
panels
badass.
inside and out. It was, I forget what it was. What was it to build that thing? I think it was $3 billion, and it was $2.1 billion to build the Allegiant Stadium, which is 65,000 seats. And that's only like 14 or 15, 16.
They're all luxury.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
They all got a slot machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got your own slot machine.
Yeah, right. At each seat. It'd be perfect for Vegas. But yeah, so in a nutshell, that's basically what the podcast is going to be about, just supporting local communities and activities and everything. Lake
Shooting the shit.
Best lake on the planet.
Yeah, so anything you want to add, Mr. Producer?
Not that I can think of.
Nothing you could think of that you forgot about growing up and
He's trying to
Doing
make that a
whatever.
distant memory, and I don't blame him because
Oh, yeah.
I'm the same
Yeah.
way with Vegas. I'm not so much about California because I've been detached and out of there for so long. But
Lucky.
I don't like going to California with my work. I don't like going there. It's just too much, and a lot of weird policies.
the only
and
time
rules.
I've been to Cali was my friend lived in San Bernardino. He had me fly into Corona.
Corona, California,
Yes.
Yep.
And then he
which was Ontario, actually, Ontario
Yeah,
Airport.
I grew up with this guy. He moved out there because his father was there our senior year in high school after we had graduated. Or was I already gone to college and I was just back for that? Anyway, he was some kind of tech guy. And then we got in the car and drove to Sacramento, got on an airplane, flew up to Chico,
Jesus,
did
we're going to
work.
all the good places.
Yeah, then got another car and drove down to somewhere, got another rental car and went over to Vegas for a bachelor party with a guy I played baseball with in high school. Gosh, that's the first time I had like $200
Yeah.
to take to Vegas. And I came back home with like
$0.
$75 or something like that.
Oh, big
All I
spender,
did was they would play slots, and these guys are spending all this money. I'm just standing there getting drinks. And I remember, I don't know where I was at. I was pounding the pavement. I was so hammered. And then we went to this buffet. I think it was at Caesars or something. I don't know. I better be quiet.
Yeah, I'm not.
But no, we went to Caesars and had that buffet, and then we played golf.
There's some good
It was
golf
like
courses
120 degrees.
there. Yep, fun.
And I was so hungover, left my putter there. And then we got back in the car the next day and drove all the way back. I don't know where we went in California. And then we hopped in a car, dropped that car off, got another car, and then drove. And I think I flew out of Sacramento.
Ugh, horrible city.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And came back home.
Yeah.
But he's in Chico.
Quite an adventure.
He's like a
Yeah, totally.
he's a CEO or some kind of not CEO, but CFF or something like that, and some kind of for a hospital or something.
CFO?
I don't know, something like that. He's doing well for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like the old.
California is a great place to visit for a couple days.
It's like
I mean,
Vegas.
I would say stay there for a week at most.
Yeah, we went to
But-
he got married in a state
There's
park.
a lot of good shit to see in
Up in
California.
There
Chico.
is. Yeah.
Whatever that state park is up
Chico.
in Chico.
What the hell did you go to? What's in Chico besides a college? And really good Mexican food, by the way. But other than that,
We did eat Mexican.
ugh,
Or did we?
Chico, California. What was he on a business trip or what was it?
No, that's where he lives now.
Oofda.
Yeah.
It's like living an 8 Mile in Detroit. But yeah, that in a nutshell. So basically, that's what it's going to be about. We're just building it. So come on. Anything else?
No. Nothing I can think of.
You got to
So-
lay off the coffee, buddy. You're having too many cups of coffee. Yeah,
Now, Waldo.
I would say for episode 1, that's probably it.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Next time.
Till next time.
Joining in.